It is Wednesday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus Digital Desk. I'm Taylor Gattoni with Claudia Sella.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
I don't have a microphone.
Oh, you don't have a microphone. Oh, what happened to the microphones?
Microphone?
I didn't even recognize that. You're right.
realized-
How did we just not realize?
I'll stand close to you.
Yeah, stand next to me. Is that one working? Oh, I almost just fell off this little box here. This is not going well on a Wednesday, but it's okay.
Hello.
Is that working?
Is it working?
I think it. Try it again.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's working. Oh my
Lovely.
gosh.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
How did we miss the two giant microphones out in front of us?
Gone. That is the type of Wednesday.
This is my
it
microphone.
today. Got it?
Yeah, but we need
got it.
Claudia. Oh, you got it?
I think I have one on.
Let's hope you guys can hear us. How did we not see that?
No, I don't know. Well, I went to go lean, and I realized I'm leaning into nothing. So, well, happy Wednesday,
Oh,
everyone.
there's no microphone. All right. Well,
Okay.
what can we expect on Studio 10 for this Wednesday? Anything to get us out of this weirdness that we're experiencing?
Absolutely. I don't know if you saw, but Billy Joel came out with his first single in 17 years, I believe. 17 years, and I'm a huge Billy Joel fan. I've seen him in concert.
He's so good.
I've cried.
He's so good.
I cried at that concert. It's just a really good day. And we're going to talk about that a little bit because
yes.
he is kind of an American staple when you hear Billy Joel.
The piano man. Come on.
He is the piano
The
man.
piano man.
And I wish I was the uptown girl.
We all do.
Yeah, we
You're
all
speaking
do.
the truth.
Yeah. But we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then Nicole, all throughout the hour, is actually going to be over in Charlotte.
Okay.
Because we are, if you've watched News 10 the past couple of days, Aaron our lovely reporter Aaron Bowling had a story about, or I believe it was Aaron. I think it was Aaron. If it's not Aaron, it was Amaya. One of the two.
Okay.
Had a story about the Charlotte dance team going to the
yeah.
Mardi Gras Disney parade. So not only is she going to be talking with them about this incredible experience they're going on, but she's also going to be stretching with them. She's going to be getting the dance lingo. She's going to learn everything. She's going to be a dancer for the show.
She's learning a routine for us. Okay.
And it's going to be really fun. And Mardi Gras is in 2 or 3 weeks.
Huge event, New Orleans.
Yes, and
No
so
love.
we're super excited for them. It's going to be cool. And of course, then we're going to tell you how you can, support them while they're there. So that is great. And then we're going to be looking at local lion support. People all over the state are getting on their roofs, getting, in the snow, in the wet snow, mind you. The snow is not
Yeah,
pleasant.
it is not great to be outside. But hey, we're the Detroit Lions. We know what it's like in mid-Michigan.
Exactly.
The Michigan weather,
And
all over the place.
yeah, and you have to get creative, and people certainly are getting creative. So we're going to highlight some of those. And then we have a couple other segments throughout the show. Won't get into those too much, but those are really helpful segments when you're dealing with finances and stuff. So really just all over the place. We have a really fun show today, and we want to see you there at 3 p.m. And as always, we're always asking questions on our Facebook page, and they're pretty fun sometimes. So sometimes
very
they can be
fun and
serious.
heated.
Sometimes they can be more not serious. And so we want to hear from you. And sometimes we share them on our show. So otherwise we will see you at 3 p.m.
Sounds good. Thank you, Claudia, for all the fun we can look forward to. And of course, like Claudia was saying, you can tune in to Studio 10 coming up at 3 o'clock today. And here's their social media pages at WILX Studio 10. If you want to go back, for example, on their YouTube page, look at any of their segments that they post on there. And they're so great about posting their videos every single day after the show. So make sure to go check that out. And you can watch more on Studio 10. Of course, if you want to rewatch anything, if you can't join them today at 3 o'clock, well, hey, there is where you can go for more information. So, a lot of great things happening on Studio 10. We'll give Colton just a second here with the microphone.
I'm good. I'm here.
You're good. You're live. Okay.
Yeah.
Bring it out. I know. I can't believe the microphones aren't here. I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice either. But now that you do notice it, you really notice it that they're
it's
gone.
completely gone. We're not going to whack anything, or look at how much arm room we have.
Well, and I'm not used to having to wear a mic over here.
No, you're not.
I do it every day in the studio, but, well, here we go.
Here we go. Okay.
Busy day, right?
A lot of fog, a lot of slick conditions. In
Yes.
fact, Colton, you and I both know how slippery it is, especially in the parking lot.
I fell.
I slipped.
Yep.
You did fall though. Are you okay?
I am okay.
Okay.
So we can laugh about it now. But yeah, not fun.
No.
It was just, and it just caught me off guard because the roads were fine, right? My entire drive here, they were okay. But as soon as I pulled into the parking lot, I was like, this is a little slippery. And then I get out of my car, start walking into the building, and my whole side of me was all wet.
Hopefully it's not bruised.
No, we're okay. We'll be all right.
But you know, it did look like the parking lot was just wet. It just looked wet from the rain. And so same thing, I'm walking out of my car, I close the door and I start walking, and then I'm like,
Right.
right onto the hood of the car.
And we got here early enough before the salt was out there, so you know, it happens, and just be careful, and we're going to see similar conditions. You know, one of the things that we mentioned earlier today is that if you live on a dirt road, I lived on a dirt road for many, many years, and I know that this time of year when you have the snow, and then it starts to melt a bit, and then you get a little bit of some rain, it just turns into a sheet of ice. And that's what's likely going to continue, unfortunately, for some of those dirt roads, is that there really isn't much weather that's going to help that, and we're going to be tracking a lot of the same weather moving forward with some fog, some rain, and warmer temperatures, but not exactly warm temperatures by any means, staying in the 30s. So let's talk about...
The warmth is making it a little bit tricky out there.
It is. It always makes it tricky this time of year.
But like you were saying, there's also fog that can reduce your visibility outside.
Right, so let's talk about the fog because the National Weather Service extended the dense fog advisory until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, mainly because we're going to see visibility drop to around a quarter mile, to around a half mile in spots heading into tonight. So this all means that you need to allow some extra time and slow down. Use those low beams if you're going to be hitting the roads here, especially tomorrow morning. I think that's going to be another slow drive for many people into work and to school. Now, showing you what it looks like outside right now, we are seeing foggy and some rain falling from this point of view. This is in southern Clinton County, just north of Lansing, showing just some rain coming down. The fog has not been terribly dense so far this afternoon, but we will see it kind of get a little bit more dense heading into tonight and into the early parts of tomorrow. We'll show you East Lansing at MSU, and you see that the roads are wet. Still some snow on the ground there in East Lansing, but that's going to be fading away very quickly. One of the things that we're going to need to watch out for, too, is the fact that we'll see the snow continue to melt, and we're going to be adding in some more rain. So that is going to cause some flooding concerns across mid-Michigan, too. Especially as we head into our Friday, which I'll kind of talk about in just one second. But here's the system that's coming through right now, bringing us that rain, and it's going to be a steady rain for the next several hours before it wraps up. But you can see the back edge of this is already now into northern Illinois, so it's only a matter of time before we get rid of this. But probably later on this evening, we'll see the rain wrap up. But until then, just know that you'll have some rain showers. It's a cold rain. We have temperatures in the mid-30s, so it's not going to be causing any freezing or anything like that out in the roadways, but it is going to be just kind of a dreary afternoon for the rest of the day today, unfortunately, as we see these showers move on through, which I can show you on the hour-by-hour forecast because we will have some showers make their way through mid-Michigan. Even in this evening, once the bulk of the rain is out of here, there could still be a little bit of some drizzle going on this evening before we dry out completely overnight. Again, the fog will be an issue tomorrow morning, so make sure you allow some extra time tomorrow morning. But I do think that Thursday, for the most part, is dry, especially the daylight hours. Once we head into the evening hours of our Thursday, a stronger system is going to come in from the south, and this is the one that we need to watch out for because it could be bringing us some heavier rainfall. It's not snow, heavier rainfall, but the snow that's on the ground can only hold so much water, right? So eventually this water is going to start to run off into our rivers and streams and things like that. So there are several areas around mid-Michigan that are prone to flooding, especially the Sycamore Creek. You also have Looking Glass River sometimes that can come up. Those are things that we'll need to watch out for because we're going to be probably picking up around an inch or so of rain Thursday night on top of the rain we saw today, on top of the rain that we saw yesterday. So it is just going to be all adding up here. But the rain will be heaviest overnight tonight, and then it'll kind of pull away as we head into Friday morning, and then the rest of the time should be dry. So it's really that Friday time frame that we'll likely see that those rivers and creeks and things like that will start to come up, especially as we continue to lose the snow, and that's only going to be adding to it as well. So predicted snowfall, oh my goodness, used to saying snowfall, rainfall here is expected through today, probably around a quarter of an inch in many spots, and then watch what happens as we head into our Thursday night and Friday, how quickly these numbers go up. Wow. So a lot of areas may very well pick up more than an inch of rain between now and Friday morning, which could cause some flooding issues. It doesn't look like it's going to be anything major for us, but those flood-prone areas that do typically flood when we get a lot of rain. Those are the areas that we need to keep an eye on as we head into the next couple of days here. But we are going to get rid of the snow. The snow is going to be gone very soon. Over the next few days, we have highs in the 30s up to 40 by Saturday. We do cool down a little bit heading into Sunday and Monday. A storm system may try to sneak in here on Sunday, but a lot of the models keep it a little bit further to the south. And then next week we warm up again. So as we start the month of February, it looks like it's going to be very warm. 43 next Thursday and then 43 on Groundhog's Day on Friday. So we're going to get a little bit of a taste of spring. It's certainly going to be a bit of mud season, I like to call it. It's going to get muddy around here. We're going to have a lot of melting going on. So it is just that time of year. And one of the other things that we're going to be mentioning tonight on News 10 is pothole season is getting going, right?
Yes, it is.
Because of the weather, especially when you have high temperatures that are above freezing and low temperatures below freezing, that constant freeze-thaw can cause issues, and that's what really leads to potholes, especially when you get any water that gets into the roads.
Yeah.
And then it freezes, it expands, then it melts, and then that's what causes pothole. And that's what I think is going to be an issue getting into the next week or so with these temperatures. So that's something to keep in mind. I've already noticed. I don't know if you've noticed.
Oh, I hit a few already.
Yeah.
It wasn't great on my car's
there
tires.
are some potholes already beginning to pop up here. So it is going to be a very interesting next.
It's a very bumpy drive.
It's a very bumpy drive. But we're used to it, right, in Michigan. And one thing, too, before we wrap up here with the weather, I want to point out, did you know there's a big football game
What?
on
Big
Sunday?
Football game. What team could that be?
I know. It's I don't know.
We should make it a holiday.
We should make it a holiday. But, you know, we're talking about the Lions, of course.
Yes.
It's an outdoor stadium, right, over in California.
The Levi Stadium?
Levi Stadium. And so the weather's going to play a role, and I went and here's the forecast if you want to pull up the weather graphic.
Let's go back to it.
Shout out to my friend Sydney for sending me the photo. She's from
Love it.
San Francisco, goes to a bunch of games, so she sent me that photo. And here's the forecast for the game. Temperatures will likely be in the 70s at kickoff and falling into the upper 60s by halftime. So it is going to be pretty warm. And keep in mind, and this almost tricked me when I first made this graphic, 6:30 Eastern time. So that's 6:30 for us, but that's 3:30 in the afternoon for our friends on the West Coast. So 70s falling into the 60s. It looks very dry, not much of a wind. At this point, it looks like the weather will not cause any issues for this game. We'll, of course, keep an eye on that as we get closer to Sunday. But again, hopefully forecasting a Lions win, too.
Oh, yes.
I can't do that, though. I don't have that ability.
If I had to go with it, though, maybe like Lions 60 and then the 49ers like 0 or something.
Close. Yes, a close game.
We'll see how that is.
Yeah, go Lions. It's very exciting.
Lions.
Very excited to watch the game there on Sunday.
Yes, we are pumped up for that. But yes, we have a lot of things happening in our forecast before we can even get to Sunday. So if you want to check out the latest First Alert forecast updates or get any traffic alert updates because of those slick conditions, but they are getting better outside, you can always stay up to date with the First Alert weather app.
It's free, and you know, with all of the active weather that we've been seeing as of late, we've had tons and tons and tons of people downloading the app, clicking our videos, watching our videos. We really appreciate it. It's a free app that you can download in the Google Play or App Store, so it doesn't matter what type of phone you have. You can find it for free, and it has a bunch of tools in there like radar, so you could be seeing when this rain moves out at the palm of your fingers on your phone.
All right. Well, thank you, Colton. And one more time, go Lions.
Go Lions. I'm excited.
I'm excited, too. All right. Well, we will see you coming up at 3 o'clock with Studio 10.
That's right.
And then First at 4. All right. Good luck. We will see you then. And here's what you can expect coming up during First at 4 and during our 90 minutes of news. Colton's going to get ready for Studio 10, but here's what is coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters today. We are bringing in someone to talk about Kevin's song, which is happening very shortly in our area, coming up around Mid-Michigan, and so continuing the conversation around suicide. So I will go into our You're Not Alone mental health series in just a little bit if you are someone who's been going through a challenging time with their mentality. But during Mid-Michigan Matters today, talking about Kevin's song, the 8th annual conference, speaking on suicide and continuing that conversation, ways to help you heal, factors that may impact your mental well-being. So we'll go into that coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters today. And then coming up today, News 10 at 5. Yes, David Andrews takes a look back at our history of the State Address. So we'll have more on that coming up later today, News 10 at 5, and I will show you something in just a little bit that pertains to the State Address. Coming up, News 10 at 5:30, a nasty Facebook scam is making the rounds again, and there's a good chance that you may see it as a post or a Facebook message. In today's What the Tech, Jamie Tucker explains what to look out for when it comes to the Facebook scam. Coming up, News 10 at 6, our Capitol reporter, Zachariah Wheaton, is in Lansing to preview tonight's State of the State Address, which you can watch for free right here on WILX on the Heroes and Icons channel. That is 10.3. You can also watch it on our website, WILX.com, and stream it off of our YouTube channel and Facebook channel. Just look up WILX. So that is where you need to go. But with the State of the State Address happening tonight, Whitmer's 6th State of the State Address, here is what you need to know when it comes to watching it on 10.3 here on WILX. So happening tonight, 7 p.m. on the Heroes and Icons channel. Make sure to check that out. Again, that is 10.3. So you can go tune into that. The other thing that I want to show all of you when I was talking about what's coming up during Mid-Michigan Matters today is talking about Kevin's song at the 8th Annual Conference on Suicide and continuing that conversation. So in relation with that, we want to show our You're Not Alone mental health series and where you can go to find more resources around the Mid-Michigan area. So let me pull up our You're Not Alone mental health series full screen. I know that all year long here on News 10, we are talking with community members on their own journey with mental well-being, and also speaking with health experts on what you can do to improve your mental well-being. So that is where you need to go. That QR code coming up in just a few seconds here. If you pull out your cell phone camera, you can go ahead, scan that QR code, and it'll pull up a list of resources around the Mid-Michigan area. So go check that out. And then another thing to know is you can call or text the Lifeline chat number 988. Again, that number is 988. And if you are a veteran, you can press option number 1 when you call, and that'll connect you directly to another veteran where you can share your similar experience and have someone better understand where you're coming from so they can better guide you toward a resource that will help you. So You're Not Alone mental health series, again, all year long here on News 10. Throughout the months, you can expect different stories, whether that's live interviews or reporter story. David Andrews and Ann Emmerich have also had multiple stories geared toward our You're Not Alone mental health series. So again, make sure to go check that out, and we'll have that here all year long on News 10. We do want to see what our other reporters are working on today, so we're going to start with Riley Connell.
Hey Taylor, good afternoon. Well, January and February are considered a slump for local business owners. This is right after Christmas, people are tightening up on their wallets, and it's usually a time of slow foot traffic. So I'm down in Rio Town talking to some local business owners about how they're making it through this slow period. You can find out more coming up on News 10 at 5:30. I'll take it back to you at the desk.
All right, thank you, Riley. News 10 at 5:30 is where you can watch more on how businesses, and she's in Rio Town, are seeing more of a slowdown when it comes to consumers coming into their businesses, especially after the holiday season. So we'll have more on that from Riley coming up News 10 at 5:30 today. Switching gears here, we're moving on over to Erin Bowling, who has more also on what she has coming up. News 10 at 5:30. Erin.
Today I'm in Lansing to speak with AAA about how to protect your home from ice dams. I'll have this story on News 10 at 5:30. Back to you.
Thank you, Erin. Also talking about more of that ice, you just heard Colton Cichoracki warning you of pothole season. So make sure you're careful and keeping an eye out for all those potholes on the roads. You want to make sure that your car is staying okay. So Erin talking more, News 10 at 5:30. We have Justin Kent sharing what he has coming up, News 10 at 6.
Now, streets just like this one here behind me all across mid-Michigan, potholes seem to be popping up and causing havoc on a lot of automobiles. I'll have more on that story coming up for you guys in our 6 o'clock news.
All right, and you just saw all of the potholes behind Justin. So again, like I was just saying, and Colton was too, learning about the potholes on the roads. And then News 10's Deanna Giles has more coming up, News 10 at 6. Deanna.
Hi, Taylor. We've had a number of stories addressing homelessness in mid-Michigan. Well, today I have a story that's providing a solution to cut down the homeless population. I'm Deanna Giles, and I spoke with Mike Carl, who just launched his new homeless hotel program. I'll have details coming up tonight on News 10 at 6. Back to you, Taylor.
All right, thank you, Deanna. The Homeless Hotel, talking about the homeless population around Michigan, if I can X out of that. Deanna will have more coming up during our 90 minutes of news. So one more time, I'm going to pull up what we have coming up during our 90 minutes of news. So this is everything that you can look forward to. And again, Governor Whitmer's 6th State of the State address happening tonight or today. We're going to have more coverage from David Andrews, looking back at previous State of the State addresses, and then also Zachariah Wheaton has more coming up, News 10 at 6, talking about what you can expect today during Governor Whitmer's 6th State of the State address. And then again, News 10 at 5:30, as you saw, talking about a Facebook scam warning, and we want to help protect you from being scammed. So we're going to tell you what you need to know to avoid having your privacy taken away. And then also, again, First at 4 for Mid-Michigan Matters today, continuing the conversation on suicide, improving your mental well-being, and the different resources that you can look toward to really help you during this time. So that is what we have coming up during our 90 minutes of news today, and also First at 4. Before we head out of here, I do want to give a live look outside at Mason, and as Colton was talking about, foggy outside, very cloudy, gloomy, and you're seeing that rain coming down. So even though we are warmer than we were last week, this warmth is creating more of that, you know, there's some freezing when we get into the low temperatures, but also the warm up, which is creating more of that rain. So because of that, when the rain does freeze, it can create those slick conditions. So just make sure, again, you are being mindful of that and being careful out on the roadways. But of course, you can always download the First Alert Weather app for more details. And here you go again, completely free off of Google Play and the Apple App Store. Make sure to check it out and have it downloaded to your phone. That is it for our little update here on the News 10 Plus digital desk. Thank you all for joining us, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.